Coming up, 2 seats to fill. Iowa City gears up for local elections.
Leaves for lawns, a UI tree expert says raking may not be necessary.
Iowa soccer upset in the first round of the Big Ten tournament.
A small break from November chills. I'll have your full forecast in weather.
All that and more
coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Monday, November 3rd. I'm Julia Rhodes.
And I'm Avery Evans.
And the third member of our team, Kate Vernon, is live outside to tell us today's weather story. Kate, is there any chance that we get a break from the cold?
Yes, Avery, Julia, Mother Nature is reminding us that Christmas is still a few weeks away because we are going to be warming up this week. I'm currently here at Hubbard Park where it is 46 degrees and sunny. Let's take a look at the Petacrust cam. Today we're going to be seeing a sunny sky with temperatures around 60 degrees. The sun will stick around tomorrow and it will warm up. Expect highs around 68 degrees, bringing us close to some warm 70-degree weather. These high 60s will be a nice break from what was a chilly Halloween weekend. I'll have your full forecast for the week ahead later, so let's check back in the desk with Julia and Avery.
Iowa City City Council elections are tomorrow. 4 candidates, Bruce Teague, Megan Alter, Clara Reinen, and Newman Abuisa, are seeking 2 at-large seats. Incumbent Bruce Teague is the current mayor at-large and has served since 2018 to be the longest-sitting member. He looks to make Iowa City a place for everyone and provide a safe community for marginalized groups. Megan Alter is another incumbent and is running in her 3rd election for an at-large seat. Alter helped in the creation of the Fare Free Iowa City bus program. Clara Reinen is a librarian and graduate student at the UI. Reinen wants to strengthen connections between City Council and the UI with her younger voice. And Newman Abuisa is an immigrant from Syria and has lived in Iowa City for 28 years. Abuisa wants to work to make Iowa City housing more affordable, and voters can find the location for their assigned precinct on the Daily Iowan website.
The Iowa Pork Producers Association partnered with Fairway grocery stores to supply food banks. They gave over 9,500 pounds of pork to 6 food banks across Iowa this past week. Families facing food insecurity get access to an estimated 38,000 servings of protein. IPP's donations are part of an initiative to promote donations from county producer groups to local food banks.
Tensions are still high in the Middle East despite the ceasefire. DITV's Kenna Mertez is live in the newsroom. Kenna, will the ceasefire continue after Israel's recent strikes in Gaza?
Yes, Julia, the ceasefire does look like it's going to be staying in place after Israel launched an attack against Hamas. Israel claimed that the attacks were in response to Hamas violating the ceasefire agreement. And
what are world leaders saying about the current situation?
Qatar's Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani told CNN about his country's role in ending the conflict.
Was about to jeopardize the deal, but what we have seen that then both parties, we work together very closely with them in order to make sure that the ceasefire stay intact.
Israel's attack marks the deadliest day since ceasefire began, with around 100 people in Gaza dead. President Donald Trump was supportive of the strikes and wants the ceasefire to continue. He said Hamas needs to behave and get a strong message about potential U.S. involvement.
You have to understand, Hamas is a very small part of the overall Middle East peace. We have peace in the Middle East. If we have to, we'll take out Hamas very easily, and that'll be the end of Hamas.
The ceasefire remains in effect. The United States may take more defective action if it means beginning to end the conflict. For now, back to you at the desk.
And now get ready because a festive pop-up market is coming back to Iowa City. The Iowa City Downtown District's Holiday Kids Market is returning for its 5th season. Children have 40-minute shopping appointments to purchase gifts while adults explore local downtown shops. And children can choose thoughtful gifts while learning about responsible spending and budgeting items. And our items are sourced from nearby downtown vendors, and retailers receive payment for its items sold.
Fall is in full swing, which means the leaves are changing colors and falling. Wherever you live, there are easy ways to clear those leaves off your lawn. Arborist Andy Dahl with the UI Office of Sustainability and the Environment says you may not have to rake your leaves. He says the leaves can be used to benefit your lawn because they feed the soil.
You know, I never thought about that, but it actually makes sense, and that would probably save a lot of time if we started doing that.
Yes, and speaking of leaves, let's take a look back outside with Kate for the forecast for the week ahead.
Julia, Avery, we are headed up in the temps before we drop back down to some November chills. Taking a look on the Pentecrest, Wednesday will be a beautiful sunny day with highs in the low 60s before dropping down to the 30s. Thursday, we might see a few more clouds, but it'll be a little warmer as the high hits the mid 60s and the low dips below 50. Friday has some clouds and temps remain in the low 60s. Saturday is where we'll see the first drop as the high will just nip the mid 50s. Sunday will be a day to bundle up with a high in the low 40s and the below freezing low in the mid 20s. With this weather, it might be time to pull out the coats and parkas, but that's all for next week's forecast, so let's head back inside to the studio.
Thanks, Kate. And I, for one, am excited for a little bit of warmer weather before we do have to pull out those parkas.
Yes, and speaking of that, let's check in with Ryan to see what's going on in sports.
Yeah, big week for sports all over the place. We'll start on the campus of Purdue with Iowa soccer, the Big Ten tournament. They took on the Wisconsin Badgers, but ended up missing some big opportunities, and a slow offense made their Big Ten title hopes fall short. DITV's Morgan Burhans was there with the story.
The 4-seed Iowa women's soccer team faced the 5-seed Wisconsin Badgers in the Big Ten tournament. After losing to the Badgers earlier in the year, the Hawkeyes were seeking revenge.
But that revenge never came. The Hawkeyes were unable to capitalize against the Badgers as missed opportunities and poor defense forced them to fall short.
Iowa had a slow start. After having a strong offensive presence all season, an overpowering Wisconsin defense led them to struggle.
They're a great team. They're really good in the air. They're super organized. I mean, they're so hard to break down.
Wisconsin struck early, making their first goal in 10 minutes. They held on to this momentum for the rest of the game.
We've struggled lately with the first 10 minutes to be the team that punches first, not get first.
Iowa goalie Taylor Kane was able to hold the Badgers to 1 goal in the first half, but the second half did not get any better. Wisconsin stayed aggressive, scoring 2 more goals, while Iowa showed missed opportunity after missed opportunity after missed opportunity.
The biggest thing is we were shooting from too far out, like we weren't breaking into their final third and shooting from distance.
Credit to Wisconsin, they're a really organized team, they're really good defensively, and it just didn't fall our way.
Iowa was unable to get the rally train rolling and fell 3-0.
Just improve on the little things. We've been focusing a lot on details and we're not quite there yet. Going into the NCAA tournament, it's all about responding to this, rebounding, and what comes next. Like, obviously, not let 3 goals, and B, we got to score some goals.
Iowa will look to regroup and use this loss as motivation to prepare them for the NCAA tournament. From the Folkfield and West Lafayette, Morgan Burhans, DITV Sports.
Season's not over for the soccer team. They will have the Big Ten or the NCAA tournament announcement next Monday. But late Saturday night this week, Fox Sports announced that their college football pregame show Big Noon Kickoff is coming to Iowa City this weekend. The 6-2 Hawkeyes will take on the number 6 ranked team in the country, the 7-1 Oregon Ducks, with the Big Noon Kickoff show beginning at 8 a.m. This will be the 3rd time that Iowa City has hosted Big Noon and the 1st since 2021. The show will take place on campus, but the precise location is still to be determined, and it will wrap up at 11 with kickoff at Kinnick, set for 2:30 on CBS. And women's wrestling returned to the mat on Saturday to begin another national title defense season. DITV's Linda Lacco was in Indianola, Iowa to watch how they start off their season on the right foot.
It's a big day for last year's Women's National Championships as these Hawkeyes start their tournament off in Luther Hill Open Tournament at Blakefee House, Indianola.
From fierce takedowns to strong pins, these Hawkeyes aren't just competing, they're dominating. Sophomore Valerio Solario held herself to a higher standard, adjusting the changes to her weight and coming out on top, winning her weight class 8-0.
So then I decided for this year, you know, I'm in U23. It's going to be a while till I'm at my peak at that weight anyways, so going 103 was just a natural decision.
A team full of champions and new talent hungry for more, Iowa wasted no time showing why they're one of the top programs in the country.
You know, we're showing a way of professionalism, you know, within our sport and within women's wrestling. You know, we need to continue driving that, you know, knowing like we're stepping on the mat, we're doing the right things in the right ways.
With both wins and losses, the Hawkeyes quickly took over control of their matches. But beyond the takedowns, this team prides itself on support, both on and off the mat.
We got to play, like, understand them, right? Understand who they are, and for them, it's teaching how they want to be as an athlete, as a student athlete. And
that bond is what keeps the Hawkeyes strong throughout the season. Star wrestlers like senior Sterling Diaz continues to set the tone for the program from the 3 years she's been here.
It's been probably the best years of my life. I think it's a great way to kind of pave women's wrestling, and we're headed into the right direction. And I do have an extra year, so I'm thankful for that too.
Finishing undefeated in the 2024-2025 duels, that these Hawkeyes are proving that when it comes to wrestling, girls run the world and the mat. From Blake Fieldhouse, Indianola, Linda Lacco, DITV Sports.
And on Halloween, Iowa field hockey struck fear into the hearts of Ohio State in their final regular season game of the year. Dion Van Olsum opened the scoring in the first period for Iowa, and it took until the third for another goal to find the back of the net. It was Van Olsum again driving the stake into the Buckeyes' heart, but Ohio State rose from the dead to score 2 before the period ended. The game stayed deadlocked into double overtime when Van Olsum reached into her bag of tricks and treats one more time to score the winner, going right around the keeper and completing a hat trick on the day. And with all this excitement, we had plenty of fun throwing together your DITV Sports Top 5 Plays of the Week. Starting at number 5, volleyball in Champaign, Illinois. A soft hit doesn't work out there. The Fighting Illini dig it out, set it up for who else but Claire Amaral. Signature snake eye shot finds the floor and gets a big point for Iowa in set number 2. Moving over to wrestling at number 4. This is Harley Hiller in the 117-pound weight class. Flips her opponent, pins her down, and wins the match. Big time domination on display from the wrestling team. This is Dion Van Olsum in field hockey. Nutmegs the goalkeeper after the first shot wouldn't go and puts Iowa in front 2-0. Now back over to Champaign for some volleyball. All of a sudden, it's the 5th set. We're tied. Iowa in a big spot, needing to find something. And how about this? Sniping the back left part of the floor, going up 3, and eventually winning the match. And then this one, Dion Van Olsum, 2-2, double overtime, slots it around the keeper, finds the back of the net, completes the hat trick in the final regular season game for the field hockey team, and the team comes out to celebrate with her. And tonight, Carver Hawkeye Arena will open its doors to premiere the much-anticipated 2025-26 season for Iowa basketball. First up, it's Jan Jensen and her 21st ranked Hawkeyes going head-to-head against Southern University at 6:30. Iowa brought in 3 new players, and as well as Hannah Stolke returning for her senior season. The Cedar Rapids native was the Black and Gold's top scorer and rebounder last year. Meanwhile, on the men's side, Iowa has 12 newcomers under first-year head coach Ben McCollum. They're looking to keep an impressive streak going as the Hawks have won their last 13 regular season openers. Their home opener against Robert Morris tips off tomorrow at 7:30. And after taking a frightening loss to Northwestern on Friday, the Iowa volleyball team redeemed itself with a win over their other Illinois foe, the Fighting Illini. Sharday Van Zandt led the pack with 19 kills and 52 total attacks, guiding the Hawkeyes to win the first 2 sets. However, the Illini fought back, pushing that match to 5 sets, but Iowa managed to steady the ship and come out with the last-minute win.
Wow, guys, it's been a really exciting weekend, not only for sports, but also with Halloween. How was your guys' weekend?
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing. I had so much fun this weekend. What about you?
A lot of baseball watching with the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was definitely very busy downtown.
Yeah, for sure. And while Halloween is over and people are already working towards the next big celebrations.
Right, Avery. And the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is already preparing for their next show. Some of the balloons for the parade were recently spotted in New Jersey. These balloons are large, with some floating as tall as 4-story buildings. Wow. And catch this year's parade on November 27th at 7:30 a.m. I've always wanted to go to the parade, always.
Me too, me too.
Bucket list item.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us online or listening on KREY 89.7 FM.
We are here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
For all of us here at DITV, see you again on Wednesday morning.
Right here on DITV.